The betrayal. The warning came too late. By the time Earth's defense systems detected the Centauri warships emerging from hyperspace, the first plasma torpedoes were already streaking through the atmosphere. Admiral Sarah Chen watched in horror from the orbital command station as golden beams of destructive energy carved through Earth's supposedly impenetrable shield grid like paper. "This is impossible," she whispered, hands gripping the command console. "The Centauri are our allies. We've had peace for over 50 years." But the brutal reality unfolding before her eyes told a different story. The Centauri Alliance, humanity's oldest and most trusted galactic partner, had just launched a surprise attack against Earth with no warning or provocation. Emergency alerts blared throughout the station as more enemy ships poured through the hyperspace corridor. The invasion fleet was massive, far larger than anything the Centauri had ever revealed to their human allies. They had been preparing for this betrayal for years. "Admiral, we're receiving a transmission from the Centauri flagship," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his dark eyes wide with disbelief. Sarah straightened her uniform and nodded. "Put it through." The holographic display flickered to life, revealing the scaled features of High Commander Vex Thor. The Centauri leader's serpentine face showed no emotion as he delivered his message. "People of Earth, for too long we have watched your species advance beyond its natural bounds. Your recent discoveries in quantum engineering and neural interface technology pose too great a risk to galactic stability. The Council of Aligned Worlds has deemed humanity a threat that must be contained. Surrender now and accept stewardship under Centauri guidance, or face extinction." Sarah's jaw clenched as fury and betrayal warred in her chest. The Centauri had helped humanity reach the stars, had traded technology and knowledge freely for decades. Or so they'd thought. Now it was clear their allies had been watching and waiting, making sure humanity didn't grow too powerful. "High Commander," she responded, keeping her voice steady. "We've done nothing to warrant this attack. The Centauri Alliance signed treaties guaranteeing Earth's sovereignty. We've been peaceful partners." "You've been useful tools," Vex Thor interrupted. "Now you've outlived that usefulness. You have one planetary rotation to surrender. Choose wisely, Admiral Chen." The transmission cut off, leaving Sarah staring at empty space. Around her, the command crew waited in tense silence for orders. Earth's orbital defenses were already at breaking point. Their most advanced ships and weapons were designed with Centauri assistance that likely included hidden weaknesses the enemy could exploit. "Ma'am," Rodriguez prompted quietly. "What are your orders?" Sarah's hands curled into fists. "Contact all Earth Defense Forces. Initiative Protocol Omega. We evacuate all civilian populations to the underground shelters, and get me a secure line to the President. We need to activate the Lazarus Project." Rodriguez paled. "Ma'am, the Lazarus Project is theoretical. We've never even confirmed if..." "It's real," Sarah cut him off. "I've seen the evidence myself. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, there's something waiting. Something our ancestors left behind. And now we have no choice but to wake it up." Hidden legacy. The descent into Earth's ancient depths felt like a journey back through time itself. Dr. Maya Patel studied the readings on her tablet as the experimental drilling platform carried their team deeper beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. They had passed the previous record for deepest human excavation hours ago. "These energy signatures are impossible," she muttered, comparing the latest scans to known physics models. The power source we're detecting shouldn't even exist, let alone still be active after thousands of years. Beside her, Colonel James Harper checked his tactical display for the 100th time. The Centauri invasion fleet still held position in high orbit, their ultimatum ticking down with each passing minute. Surface defenses were buying time, but everyone knew it was only temporary. "At this point, impossible is exactly what we're hoping for," he replied grimly. "The historical records are clear. During humanity's last great crisis, our ancestors found something down here, something that changed everything." Maya nodded absently, still absorbed in the readings. The ancient texts they discovered in sealed vaults around the world all pointed to this location. They spoke of a powerful legacy left behind by an advanced human civilization that had reached the stars long before recorded history. A civilization that had faced its own extinction-level threat and prepared a final gift for their descendants. The drilling platform shuddered as it broke through another layer of rock. Warning lights flashed as the sensors detected a massive cavity opening up below them. "We found it," Maya breathed, staring at the holographic reconstruction. "It's some kind of artificial chamber, perfectly preserved in the ice. The energy readings are off the charts." The platform descended into darkness that seemed to swallow their floodlights. As they touched down on solid ground, Maya felt a strange humming vibration through her boots. The chamber walls were carved with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and flow in the beam of her flashlight. Those aren't just decorative, she realized, examining the patterns more closely. They're some kind of circuit paths or energy conduits. This entire chamber is a giant machine. "Over here," one of the security team called out. "We'd found some kind of control interface." They gathered around a raised platform covered in familiar geometric patterns. Maya's heart raced as she recognized the symbols from the ancient texts. This was it, the legacy their ancestors had left behind. "The texts say only those with the old blood can activate it," she said, pulling out a small medical scanner. "Colonel Harper, you have the strongest genetic markers we found. You need to be the one." James stepped onto the platform, trying to hide his uncertainty. "What exactly am I activating?" Maya checked her readings one final time. According to the texts, it's called the memory engine. It's supposed to unlock something within human DNA itself, genetic memories passed down from the original starfaring civilization. Knowledge and abilities our ancestors encoded into our very cells, waiting to be reawakened. "And you're sure this will help us fight the Centauri?" "The texts say it will help us remember who we really are." Maya met his eyes. "And what we're truly capable of." James took a deep breath and placed his hand on the central pattern. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire chamber blazed to life with brilliant blue-white light. The circuit patterns in the walls pulsed with power as ancient machinery hummed to life. And in James Harper's mind, the memories of stars began to awaken. The awakening. The memories hit James like a tidal wave of starlight. He saw vast fleets moving between galaxies, witnessed humanity at its height, a civilization that had mastered the fundamental forces of the universe itself. He experienced countless lives, countless battles, countless triumphs and sacrifices stretching back millions of years. "My God," he gasped, struggling to process the flood of information. We were incredible." Maya steadied him as he stumbled off the platform. "What did you see?" "Everything. The original humanity. They weren't just advanced, he searched for words to describe the impossible memories. They had evolved beyond physical form. They could manipulate matter and energy with thought alone. And they encoded all of it, everything they knew, into our DNA. Why would they hide such power?" One of the security team asked. "Why make us forget?" James sorted through the cascade of memories, still settling in his mind. "Because we weren't ready. The power was too great, too dangerous. They knew we needed to evolve naturally, to develop wisdom along with strength. So they locked it away, buried it deep in our genes, left us to grow on our own, but made sure we'd have access to our true heritage when we really needed it." Maya's tablet chimed with urgent alerts. "The Centauri fleet is moving. They've detected the energy surge from the memory engine. They're launching the final assault." James straightened, new confidence flowing through him as more memories settled into place. "They know. The Centauri, their species was there during humanity's golden age. They were one of many races that served under human guidance. When our ancestors chose to step back, to start over, the Centauri and others inherited much of our technology. But they never understood its true power." He turned to face the team, his eyes now glowing with a faint inner light. That's why they attacked now. Their sensors detected that humanity was starting to naturally rediscover our old abilities. They wanted to stop us before we fully awakened. Can you teach others? Maya asked, hope kindling in her voice. Can you help us remember too? James nodded. The memory engine didn't just unlock my genetic memories. It activated a resonance that will spread to all humans. Everyone on Earth is about to remember who we really are. Above them, the first waves of awakening were already spreading. In cities and bunkers around the world, humans began to experience flashes of their ancestral memories. Parents watched in amazement as their children's eyes began to glow with ancient power. In orbital defense stations, gunners found they could sense and predict enemy movements with impossible accuracy. Humanity was remembering. And the Centauri were about to learn why their ancient ancestors had feared and respected the human race. Rising storm. Admiral Sarah Chen felt at the moment the awakening reached the orbital command station, a surge of clarity and power that made her previous understanding of warfare seem like a child playing with toys. The tactical display before her transformed, becoming a symphony of energy and probability that she could read as easily as breathing. All Earth Defense Forces. She broadcast on all frequencies, her voice carrying new harmonics of command. The time for hiding our true nature is over. Execute battle pattern Omega. Around the planet, humanity's defenders moved with newfound grace and power. Fighter pilots merged consciousness with their ships, becoming living weapons that danced through space. Ground troops discovered they could project shields of pure force, protecting civilian evacuations from orbital bombardment. The Centauri response was immediate and devastating. Their flagship launched a barrage of temporal weapons designed to trap human forces in stasis fields. But Sarah simply smiled, watching through expanded senses as her crews instinctively phased their ships between moments of time, letting the attacks pass harmlessly through empty space. Impossible. High Commander Vexthor's transmission cut through the battle. These abilities were sealed away eons ago. Your kind surrendered this power. We didn't surrender it, Sarah replied calmly. We chose to set it aside until we were ready. And thanks to your attack, you've forced us to reclaim it ahead of schedule. The battle swirled around Earth as humanity's awakened defenders engaged the Centauri fleet. But even with their rediscovered powers, they were vastly outnumbered. The enemy had come prepared for a swift conquest, bringing overwhelming force to bear. In the Antarctic chamber, James Harper felt the tide of battle through his expanded consciousness. We need more, he told Maya. The memory engine was just the first step. There's something else down here, something bigger. Maya's eyes widened as she accessed her own awakening memories. The Forge of Stars. The texts weren't just being poetic. It's a literal stellar forge, a device capable of creating and shaping suns themselves. Our ancestors left it here, buried in Earth's core. James nodded. And now we remember how to use it. But activating it could tear the planet apart if we're not careful. We'll need every awakened human working in perfect harmony. Then let's hope our species is finally ready for that kind of unity, Maya said. Because the Centauri aren't going to give us time for a second chance. The battle for humanity's future was about to enter its final phase, and the galaxy was about to witness the full power of an awakened human race. Reclamation. The Forge of Stars pulsed beneath the Earth, an ancient machine that tapped into the fundamental forces of creation. Through their awakened senses, every human on the planet could feel its power calling to them. In orbit, in bunkers, in secret facilities around the globe, humanity joined minds and purpose. Maya watched in awe as James coordinated the effort. His consciousness expanded to encompass millions of awakened humans working in perfect synchronization. The chamber's walls now blazed with light that no normal eyes could perceive, as the patterns of stored stellar energy began to flow. All channels open, James announced, his voice resonating on multiple levels of reality. Everyone in position. Remember, we're not just fighting for survival now. We're fighting to reclaim our heritage, to become what we were always meant to be. In orbit, Sarah Chen felt the power building. She opened a final channel to the Centauri fleet. "High Commander, this is your last chance. Withdraw your forces and we can still find a peaceful solution." "Peace?" Vex Thor snarled. "Your kind lost the right to speak of peace when you abandoned your responsibilities to the galaxy. You left us with technology we barely understood, withdrew your guidance, forced us to find our own way. And now that we've built something for ourselves, you dare to threaten us with your awakened power. We left you to grow on your own, just as we chose to do," Sarah replied. "We could have remained as gods, ruling over other species. Instead, we chose to let all races find their own path. That was wisdom, not weakness." "Pretty words from a species about to become extinct," Vex Thor said. "Launch the final assault. All ships, open fire." The Centauri fleet released their full arsenal, planet-killing weapons that could reduce Earth's crust to molten slag. But they never reached their target. As James activated the Forge of Stars, reality itself seemed to hold its breath. Pure stellar energy erupted from chambers deep beneath the Earth, channeled and controlled by millions of awakened human minds working as one. It manifested as a shield of crystallized space-time around the planet, transforming the Centauri attack into harmless light. But defense wasn't enough. Humanity reached out with powers that had helped shape the galaxy in ages past. Ships of the Centauri fleet found themselves encased in spheres of altered space where time moved at a crawl. Others were gently displaced thousands of light years away through temporary tunnels in space. "You see now." Sarah's voice reached every Centauri mind. "We could destroy you all with a thought. But that's not who we choose to be." The remaining Centauri ships hung motionless in space as their crews witnessed humanity's true power. But instead of the vengeance they expected, they felt something else. An offer of peace, of partnership between equals. "The age of secrets and fear is over," James broadcast from the chamber below. "Humanity remembers its past, but we look to the future. We offer friendship to any who would join us in building something greater than conquest or dominion." One by one, the Centauri ships stood down. Their crews could sense the truth. Humanity had not just reclaimed its power, but had grown beyond its ancient heights. They had achieved something their ancestors never had: the wisdom to use almost godlike abilities with restraint and compassion. As the sun rose over Earth, humanity stood ready to take its place among the stars once more. Not as conquerors or rulers, but as guardians of a new age of cooperation and discovery. The galaxy would never be the same, and that was exactly as it should be.